Let's talk about something that might keep you up at night. What does it really mean to live a fulfilling life as you get older? You might think it's about staying busy, lending a hand to others, or just making it through the day. But what if I told you the secret to happiness and peace in your later years is something more powerful, something so easy to miss, until it's almost too late? Today, we're diving into Riley's incredible journey, a woman who didn't just accept aging, but turned it into a vibrant, meaningful chapter of her life. With a sprinkle of health wisdom, she learned that true joy doesn't come from clinging to family or giving up your independence. It's about crafting a life bursting with passion, purpose, and freedom. Stick with me, and you'll uncover how to thrive as you age, balancing independence with connection, chasing what lights you up, and embracing the magic of self-care. Oh, and if this resonates with you, hit that like button, share it with a friend, comment, and subscribe. I'd love for you to join our little community of explorers. Let's get started. Picture this: Riley, at 67, closing the door on her tiny restaurant after 34 years of steaming miso soup and warm rice bowls. She'd spent decades pouring her heart into that place, raising two daughters, Alex and Sally, after her husband passed away in a tragic accident when she was just 34. Every penny she earned went to their education, their weddings. Her whole world was about giving them a better shot. But when that final day came, her daughters assumed she'd move in. "Mom, live with us. We'll take care of you," Alex said with a gentle smile. Sally nodded. The kids would love it. Their voices were full of love, but Riley just smiled back, her eyes calm and wise. "I've realized what I need for a happy old age isn't my kids or money," she said softly. But these three things, what were they? How did she figure it out after a lifetime of putting everyone else first? Riley's story is one of quiet courage. She'd spent her youth loving her family fiercely, serving up comfort food to strangers, and making sure her daughters had everything she never did. But somewhere along the way, she lost herself, became a shadow, always giving, never taking. Ever felt like that, pouring so much into others that you forget to refill your own cup? For Riley, closing that restaurant wasn't just an ending, it was a wake-up call. She'd been so busy being a mom, a provider, that she hadn't asked what she wanted. Her daughters didn't get it at first. Why wouldn't she let them pamper her after all those years? But Riley saw something they didn't yet. Peace doesn't come from leaning on others. "I can take care of my own life," she told them, her voice steady. What do you think? Could you say no to an offer like that, even from people you love? Her epiphany came slow, like dawn creeping over the horizon. "People are happiest when they rely on themselves," she said one day, sitting across from her daughters at her warm kitchen table. It wasn't rejection, it was freedom. She'd spent 34 years building a life for others, and now it was time to build one for herself. That's when she found her three treasures: health, relationships, and hobbies. Not fancy stuff you can buy, but deep, personal wells of strength rooted in loving herself first. These weren't just ideas, they were her lifeline, turning her golden years into something golden indeed. Ready to hear how she made it work? Let's dive in. First up, health. Riley's body had taken a beating. 34 years on her feet left her back aching and her shoulders stiff. She'd ignored it, pushing through pain to keep the restaurant running. But after retiring, she decided enough was enough. "Today, I'm going for a walk," she'd whisper to herself each morning, stepping out into the crisp air. At first, it was brutal. Her legs wobbled, her back screamed after a few steps. But she kept going. One lap around the park turning into two, then three. 2 months later, she felt it. Less pain, a lighter step, a spark in her spirit. Ever tried something small like that and felt it grow into something big? Then, one day, an older woman on a bench waved her over. "I see you walking. Want to join our yoga group?" "It's gentle," she said. Riley said yes, and it changed everything. Yoga wasn't just stretching, it was reclaiming her body. She'd ease into poses, feeling strength she thought she'd lost forever. "I used to think my kids would handle my health," she told her yoga buddies, "but now I see it's my asset, my freedom." She started eating better too, swapping greasy snacks for crunchy carrots and soothing green tea that warmed her hands and heart. It's funny how a steaming cup or a quiet walk can shift your whole outlook, right? Health became her first treasure, a gift she gave herself every day, keeping her strong for whatever came next. What's one little health habit you could start today? Next, relationships, but not the ones you might expect. Riley didn't lean on her daughters for company. Instead, she found new connections that filled her days with meaning. One afternoon, she spotted a sign: volunteers needed to plant flowers. She'd never gardened, but it called to her. Her first day, she was knee-deep in dirt, wrestling a shovel, when a shy 8-year-old boy shuffled up. "Grandma, am I doing this right?" he asked, gripping the tool all wrong. Riley chuckled, showing him how to dig gently, and just like that, they clicked. Ever had a stranger turn into a friend in a heartbeat? Weeks later, Riley was a fixture in that group, laughing with young parents, swapping stories with retirees, teaching that boy she nicknamed Little Sprout. One day, watering bright marigolds, an older woman asked, "Do you grow flowers at home?" "Nope," Riley grinned, "but these blooms feel like a new beginning." Those friendships gave her purpose, a shield against loneliness. The real fear isn't being alone, she told the group. It's feeling like you don't matter. Opening your heart fixes that. Where do you find those connections that make you feel seen? For Riley, it was her second treasure, a web of bonds that kept her grounded and growing. Then there's hobbies, Riley's third treasure. And oh, did it shine. At 67, she signed up for piano lessons. Her daughters were floored. "Mom, piano? Now?" Sally asked, laughing. But Riley had always loved music, a dream she'd shelved for decades. Her first tries were messy, fingers tripping over keys, notes clanging like a broken bell. Still, she practiced day after day, until those stumbles turned into songs. One evening, playing a simple tune, she felt a rush, like a kid finding a hidden treasure chest. Ever chased a dream that made you feel that alive? 6 months in, Riley wasn't just playing, she was living the music. Her fingers danced, filling her small apartment with melodies that carried her spirit. Time isn't for filling, she'd say, eyes sparkling. It's for creating. Even a single note can make a day sing. She joined a little piano group, playing at nursing homes, their smiles lighting her up. It wasn't about fame, it was about joy, rediscovery. It's never too late, she'd tell me, to start something that wakes you up. What's a hobby you've been itching to try? Riley's piano is proof. Your passions can keep you young, no matter the years. Her journey didn't just change her, it touched her daughters too. One day, Sally showed up, tears streaming. "Mom, I'm getting divorced. I can't take it anymore," she sobbed. Riley didn't rush to fix it. She sat beside her, holding her hand, letting the silence hold space. When Sally calmed, Riley looked at her and said, "I lost your dad young, raised you girls alone. It was so hard, but I kept going. You can too. This life is yours to shape." It wasn't just words, it was a lifeline, showing Sally's strength runs deep. Ever been lifted by someone's quiet courage? Sally took it to heart, found a counselor, a new job, a fresh start, all because Riley lived her truth. It's wild how your choices can ripple, isn't it? Riley's days now hum with purpose: yoga at dawn, volunteering by noon, piano at dusk. Weekends bring her grandkids laughter, no pressure, just being together. She's not wealthy or famous, but she's free to live her way. Her treasures, health, relationships, hobbies, aren't flashy, but they're hers, built from scratch. But Riley's story hit a snag that shook her. One winter, after a long piano session, she got a call. Her friend Aiko, her diner buddy of 30 for years, had passed away alone. Aiko's kids had moved on, and no one found her for a week. The news hit Riley hard. That night, she couldn't sleep, haunted by the thought, will that be me, forgotten, alone? It wasn't just grief, it was a wake-up call. I need to live for me too, she realized, or I'll lose myself. Ever had a moment that made you rethink everything? So, at 70, Riley did the unexpected. She started learning French. Mom, why? Alex asked, baffled. I want a world that grows, not shrinks, Riley replied, eyes bright. She joined a class, the oldest by decades, stumbling over bonjour and merci. But soon, she was watching French films, chatting with new friends online, her world expanding. It wasn't just a language, it was a lifeline, proof she could still grow. Her fear of ending like Aiko faded. She'd built a life too full to fade away. What's something new you could try to stretch your horizons? Riley's days became a dance of balance and joy. Mornings meant yoga, deep breaths, gratitude for another sunrise. Afternoons, she'd volunteer at a meal service, sharing steaming bowls with folks who had little else, their smiles filling her up. Evenings, she'd sit at her piano, notes drifting like a gentle breeze, her soul unwinding. Weekends brought family, no rush, just warm moments of connection. It's not about how much time, she'd say, but how real it feels. Are you still with me? Drop a 2 in the comments if her lessons hit home. For Riley, old age wasn't about wealth or fleeting thrills. It was a healthy body, true friendships and passions that sang. Aging wasn't a foe, but a privilege, a chance to live wiser. What scared her wasn't death. It was losing the guts to chase what made her feel alive. One day, Alex came by, worried. Mom, a friend's mom needs surgery. No savings. Her kids are stuck with the bills. Riley didn't blink. She pulled out her savings book, 30 for years of quiet discipline, and handed it over. I'll never burden you, she said. That's my first treasure, independence. Her second was those friendships, her hiking group, trekking trails, laughter echoing through the trees. Her third? That piano, and later French, proof it's never too late to bloom. Her daughters teased, Mom's too busy to answer calls. But they knew. Riley had found her groove, a life that didn't need them to define it. She left them peace, not pressure, the gift of a mom who lived fully, showing them how it's done. So, where are you on this journey? Riley's not just a story, she's a nudge. Maybe it's a walk tomorrow, a chat with a neighbor, or picking up that dusty guitar. What's one step you could take toward your own treasures? Comment 1 if this sparks something. Oh, if I've missed the mark, let's keep this going. Riley's wisdom is yours now. Aging isn't fading, it's shining brighter. Like, subscribe, share. Let's build a community where we thrive together. Here's to living big, no matter the years. See you next time.